In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Aurora Blue Black fountain pen ink. I'll go over the specs, I will do an ink test, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this ink coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. So today going to be reviewing Aurora Blue Black ink, and this is a newer ink for Aurora. For the longest time they only offered blue and black inks. Now they have a blue black, and then they also did some limited edition colors which I think are now standard. There's maybe, I don't know, something like 10 or something. I have not tried any of those. I need to try those. But the Aurora Black is one of my favorite blacks, and the Aurora Blue is a really excellent, well lubricated blue ink. So I was excited to try this blue black ink. This bottle is a 45 milliliter bottle. Price is $18. We do sell these at the Paper Mind, and for Blake's Broadcast viewers and subscribers, you can get 10% off with code BB10 at checkout. Now, if you are interested in this ink and you like this bottle, I quite like these long rectangular bottles. I think they're really nice. Aurora, to my understanding, has now discontinued these. I think I have 5 or 6 bottles of this left on the Paper Mind. And so what they're doing is they're going to their, like, a more old school sort of rounded bottle. It kind of reminds me of like the Pelican, standard Pelican ink bottle, 60 milliliters, and that price is going to be $30. So it's getting more expensive, and I think the new bottle is not as nice. Now, I haven't used it yet, but just visually, I think this is a better bottle, and of course it's a better price in this older format. Anyway, I'm going to be doing the live writing on this Paper Mind Cosmo Air Light hardcover notebook. This is my favorite paper for testing fountain pen ink, or at least just showing off ink. It's really makes inks pop and sparkle. So here it is, the blue black ink. So I have it with the Lamy Accent and the Lamy Vista. Nice ink. You actually get pretty good shading on the fine. I actually like the way that the shading on this thinner nib looks than on the wider nib. On the wider nib, the ink doesn't appear quite as dark, so something to be aware of. But I would say that this is, in normal nibs, I mean, this is a 1.9 millimeter stub, quite wide, but normal nib grades, it's a really true blue black. I would say call it textbook blue black, maybe. Really nice. There is a little bit of a red sheen. I don't know if you can see it on here, but we'll do some live writing and I think that'll come out there. Now, flow wise, the Aurora Black and Aurora Blue have really excellent, generous flow. This is more average flow. It's still pretty good, but it's not at that same level as the black and the blue. Now, as an ink swatch, I have this guy here, and on this you don't really see too much of that sheen. I'll show this against some other similar or as similar blues as I currently have in my swatch catalog on the screen. But yeah, this is a very true blue-black color. Now, in terms of dry times, performance on Cosmo Air Light, it wasn't very good. I have kind of mixed feelings about this sort of test. You know, at 50 we were still looking wet, but I don't find this in practice to be a really slow drying ink. So I almost wonder, does it make sense to do these kind of tests on Cosmo Air Light? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I think it probably is. I don't know why that took so long to dry. Now, on Mitsubishi bank paper that I have here, this was 30 seconds dry time, which is pretty reasonable. It's not a fast drying ink. There is some lubrication there, not as much again as the Aurora Blue and Aurora Black, but it's there in kind of that average flow. In terms of color on different papers, bank paper always tends to change the color of inks slightly, and I think we can see that here a little bit compared to the Rhodia. Yeah, no sheen I'm seeing on this bank paper, and if there's no sheen on this, there's definitely no sheen on the Rhodia. That's not there, but there is sheen on the Cosmo Air Light, and it's, I mean, for me sitting here, I can really see it. Let's do some live writing. Let's start with the Kakimori steel metal nib, and I'm using an Ink Miser because after I did that J Urban one the other day, that was a mistake because you dip it into a sample vial and you get ink all over the holder, which is very annoying. Okay, so this is Aurora Blue Black ink. And I can't spell quick. Next we'll do the Kakimori pen nib. It's a ruling. Come on. Pen. Still not very good at using this thing. It's fun though. And finally we'll use this Browse nib, rounded nib. And I dripped water on this. Oops, I think that might have been from the ruling nib. Oh well, that is... And then finally we can do some water test. This has been on there for over, I think, 2 days now or something like that. Okay, I'll be back in one moment. In terms of the water test, well, it isn't really waterproof. In terms of like dumping ink on the page, the sheen looks a little bit brown, I would say, actually. However, on the page in normal writing like this, to me it looks more red, but here it looks more kind of brown, goldy. It looks really nice. What are my pros and cons for the Aurora Blue Black ink? Well, I like the relatively affordable price of $18 for 45 milliliters. I like the tall rectangular bottle. It's easy to get a good fill out of that bottle. The blue black ink is a really sort of standard blue black. It doesn't really lean towards other colors. It's just a very textbook blue black, which I really like. Now, it has good flow. I wouldn't say that it's maybe just a hair lubricated. I would say, though, it's more in the average range. It's very easy to clean out of pens and just is generally well behaved. There is a little bit of red sheen. However, when I really laid it down on that Cosmo Air Light, those wider nibs like the Kakimori nib and the ruling pen, it did have more of a gold look to it. Either way, it looks really quite nice. And I also think it has pretty good shading. I especially liked it on the fine Lamy accent or Scala. But anyway, on fine nibs, you do get some nice shading there, and it also does show some nice sheen on those finer nibs. Now, in terms of cons, this 45 milliliter bottle, as far as I know, has been discontinued, and there's a new 55 milliliter bottle, which is similar to like the new Aurora Anniversary color bottle, so it's more of a retro bottle. I think maybe I like the label on the new bottle better, but the actual bottle itself I do not prefer. I don't think you're going to be able to get as good of fills out of that bottle, and it's more expensive for 55 milliliters, it's now $30 instead of $18 for 45 milliliters. So that is a little bit disappointing. I would also say I had very high expectations for this ink just because of how much I love Aurora Black, and I'm a big fan of Aurora Blue. Those are very nice lubricating inks, and the black is super black. It's been one of my favorite blacks for a really long time, and I might say it's my favorite black, just in terms of the visual look. So this one here, it's a very true blue black. It's not as lubricated, so I didn't like that quite as much. But overall, it's a great ink. If you like blue black inks, I think this is a good option. I would recommend, buying one of these older bottles before they're gone because of that price increase and less nice bottle. Okay, that's pretty much it. Do you guys have this ink? Do you like this ink? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.